course, families who are denied shelter will go somewhere. And I think the question really is, are the financial savings that the Commonwealth has experienced state from this worth the health and safety price that children and families are experiencing? I want to go through a few health concerns I have, both from my clinical experience, but also from research that Children's HealthWatch has done. The first is that, of course, young children are particularly susceptible to the environmental hazards of living outdoors or in cars or in temporary shelters. Children under 2 can experience frostbite and hypothermia at temperatures as high as 32 degrees Fahrenheit. They can also conversely experience heat stroke, which can be deadly in cars when the outdoor temperature is as low as 75 degrees. In addition, young children, pregnant women and fetuses, are unusually vulnerable to carbon monoxide poisoning from car exhaust systems and also from makeshift heating systems in abandoned buildings and tents. But of course, the environmental impacts aren't the only things we're thinking of. The human factors can play out very dramatically on the physical body as well. We've all heard a lot of really dramatic stories of terrible things that have happened to people who have had to live with strangers. We also have seen cases of physical and sexual assault of parents and children staying with relatives. We know that families forced to double up with others pay for their lodging in one way or the other, either through outsized financial contributions from a meager budget, which in turn turns into food insecurity for young children and families, or with in-kind services, if you will, that can be also threatening to the health. I'm submitting my written testimony to research reports that outline the impact to young children. I also want to just point out that these have long-term developmental consequences for children, which they can never get back. Having food insecurity at young age, you can never get that back. And we pay for that as well as the Commonwealth in terms of expenditures in terms of education. So I urge you to expand regulations specifically to provide eligibility to families who are on the verge of, but yet have not yet stayed in places not meant for human habitation, and families who are at risk for adverse health consequences due to the dynamics of conditions within double-up situations, and pregnant women, newborns, and young children who have